Broadcasting live from the Meridics VOBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network. And wowee! After that incredible finish between Hendersonville and Page, what will Station Camp and NBA bring us in the second Preds Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal, huh? Woo! Wow. Still buzzing over the ending of that. I was getting ready for OT, and then Madden Chandler just decides to fire the puck at the Hendersonville net and hit the top left-hand corner, and he was standing just above the left wing corner boards over there. Wow. This game featuring two teams who have already been through a lot in this Preds Cup. Station Camp, of course, beating a one-seeded Ravenwood in the first round, and then absolutely blasted by Franklin in the winner's bracket semis, while NBA lost their opener to Nolensville and then were seconds away. Actually, not seconds away. They were trailing 3-2 after 2 against Ensworth in their elimination game, tied it, and then came back to win in overtime. So the winner of this game will play Page on Monday at 8:15 over on Rink B here at Centennial. As the Zamboni has one more bit of ice to resurface. Caleb Carlance, at the end of that Page-Hendersonville game, was yelling at somebody, and it got him a 10-minute misconduct. He had already gotten a 10-minute misconduct earlier in the game, so that was 2 misconducts. So it was a game misconduct. So he's going to get, a 1-game suspension. But he's a senior, so it turns into a $100 fine since he's not going to be able to serve it. It also means he can't play in the All-Star game. So he just cost himself a place in the All-Star game. It's unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Once both teams hit the ice and the warm-up clock starts, I'll go over their playoff stats to this point. The Mount Juliet Outlaws game should be underway by now over on Rink B. That is an elimination game. Again, the Outlaws losing just last night to Indy Centennial to be put in that loser's bracket quarterfinal. The winner of that game will play the Brentwood JP2 winner next Wednesday in the Hein Cup Losers Bracket Semi. Brentwood and JP2 don't play each other until Monday. Once this game is over, the Preds Cup will be down to 4 teams. Monday we'll have the Winners Bracket Final and the Losers Bracket Semifinal. And then next Wednesday will be the Losers Bracket Final. And then the Preds Cup Championship round will be set. The Hein Cup, again, that remaining Losers Bracket quarterfinal between Brentwood and JP2 has to be played. Then next Wednesday, the Losers Bracket Semi between the winner of that game plus the Mount Juliet Outlaws game will be played, the Losers Bracket Semi. And then whoever wins that will meet the Independence Father Ryan loser on Thursday in the Losers Bracket Final. So Hein Cup not exactly done yet. As the Zamboni doors are closed, now we're just waiting on the officials to get out here so we can start the warm-up. Well, we got a bunch of pucks out on the ice, but no officials. The officials know we got another game or what? Like to get it going as quick as we can. Don't want to be here all night. Like to be able to get the newsletter tonight done at a decent hour so I can get some sleep. And not try to fall asleep during the women's gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. Okay, well, somebody's given the signal to start the pregame warm-up, and the clock is running. So let's talk about the two teams playing our nightcap. First up, Station Camp Liberty Creek-Nashville Christian, the 8th seed, coached by Keith Grooms, opened the playoffs with that incredible 7-4 win over Ravenwood in the first round. But then last Wednesday got beat 6-0 by Franklin in the winner's bracket semi. So here are their stats to this point. Toby Mahaffey with 4 points from goals. McLean Gregory, 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. Tommy Siciliano, 2 points from a goal and an assist. Merritt Freeman, 2 points from assist. Josh Pepper with a point from a goal. Those stats, of course, remained unchanged from the game against Ravenwood. On to goalie play, Miller Campbell has played in both games, started them both, so his record is 1-1. He's played 77 minutes after Franklin went up 3-0 early in the third. He got pulled for Carter Galise. Campbell's goals against average in the playoffs so far is 4.36, no shutouts. He's allowed 8 goals and 46 shots. No, that's correct. 8 goals on 46 shots, turned away the other 38. His save percentage in the playoffs so far is .826. Carter Galise came in for the final, they say, 6 minutes of that game against Franklin, and since the lead never changed hands, he has no decisions on his record. They say goals against average of 14. They say allowed 2 goals and 4 shots. It should be 3 because Ryan Mannion scored at the buzzer, and that goal counted. So it should be 3 goals on 4 shots. So his stats are not correct. Let's move on to NBA, coached by Max Wutsky. Opened the playoffs 2 weeks ago tonight with a 2-1 loss to Nolensville, and then a week ago Monday, February 9th, beat Ensworth Lipscomb CPA 4-3 in the first round of the losers bracket. Their stats are not exactly correct either because I went back and watched some of that game in the NBA student broadcast, and they did not give an assist to whoever had the pass to Trace Graham that allowed him to score the game winner. So these stats aren't totally correct, and I forgot to do my due diligence and make my own corrections on a little index card earlier today. Trace Graham has 4 points from 3 goals and an assist. Matthew Moore, 2 points from a goal and an assist. Ethan Moore, a point from a goal. Andrew Freck and Ethan Sides, each with a point from an assist. On the goalie play, Trip Bland has started in both games, so his record is 1-1. He's played 84 minutes, goals against average of 2.5, no shutouts. He's allowed 5 goals on 47 shots, turned away the other 42. His save percentage in the postseason so far is .894. And that was in the nick of time right before the buzzer. Do we still not have officials? Oh, okay, there they are. I see a linesman. Still no updates from the Mount Juliet. I guess the game sheet ain't going to be working for this one either, huh? So I'm actually going to have to go over there during between periods and see, pop in. These two teams met on January 12th. NBA won 6-3. Station Camp scored the game's first goal 14 seconds in. NBA will be looking to not allow that to repeat itself. Carter Galise was in goal for that one. Ready to go with the start of this one. Trip Bland going to start and go for NBA, and Carter Galise getting the start for Station Camp. This first period, NBA will carry the puck from my left to right. Station Camp from my right to left. The axe is swinging again. Who gets the chop this time? It's time to start answering that question. NBA win the draw to start the game. And they almost turn it over inside their own zone. They do. Josh Peffer forcing a turnover, taking it away from James Lehrman. NBA clear it out. Puck in the Station Camp zone to the inboards it goes. Trace Graham falls over. Couldn't get to it. And Station Camp will bring it out. But it's going to be brought right back into the left wing side. Andrew Freck, a shot knocked down with the glove of Galise. Gavin Cole passing it up the far side. Goes past Lawson Brown back into the NBA zone, so no icing, because it went right past him. Lehrman sending the puck up the near side boards. Held in at the left point. Bryant Waddell, a shot. Takes a deflection. Goes past the net to Bland's right. Puck comes back up to the left point. Waddell holds it in. McLean Gregory sending it down to the left wing corner. Matthew Moore will clear it out. And this will go for an icing. And that brings about the first whistle after exactly a minute of play. Winner of this game will meet Page Summit on Monday in the losers bracket final, Preds Cup losers bracket semifinal, at 8:15 over on Rink B. We'll have that for you. Draw to the right of Bland. Won by NBA. Puck smacked around the boards to the far side and out. It's going to be another icing. It was Cortland Klett sending it around the wall. Draws to Bland's right once again. NBA win it, get it to center, but turn it over to Station Camp. Andrew Grooms had it poked away as he crossed the NBA blue line. Cortland Klett will lift it out on a backhand. Picked up at center by Merritt Freeman. Poked up the far boards and shot on goal from center, I think by Andrew Grooms, and to be turned away by Trip Bland. Dom DeMaria on angle shot. Hits the post, hits the outside of the post to the left of Bland, popped up in the air. Puck sent around the boards to the far side and out. Dane Kramer couldn't catch up to it. That was cleared by Louis Jalovic. Puck in the station camp zone. Bryant Waddell behind his own net. Passing it up the far side and out. Here's Matthew Moore. It's back in the station camp zone. They try and clear off the skates of Moore. Puck going down the end boards. Puck coming around to the near side. Put out in front. Graham whiffs on it. Held in. Left circle shot. Oh, hitting the post to the left of Galice is Conner Mazzoni. That close to giving NBA a 1-0 lead. Here's Matthew Moore in the slot, a shot. Missed the net. Actually, no, they're saying that Galice got a piece of it. Graham shot in the left circle off a stick into the netting above the glass. 11:23 left in the first. No goals on the board, but NBA just about had one. Conner Mazzoni hitting the post to Galice's left. Draws to the right of Galice. Won by NBA. A shot off his left leg pad. That was from Graham. Puck sent up the near side boards. Matthew Moore, a shot from the left circle. Missed the net to the left of Galice. Puck put out in front. Moore trying to stuff it in. Galice knocks it away. And Station Camp with a rebound. They'll bring it out to center. Josh Peffer pokes it back into the NBA zone, but it's quickly cleared out by Lehrman. Here's Graham at center. Passing it over to Ethan Moore. Moore, left wing side of the Station Camp zone. Ran into a double team of Station Camp defenders and lost the puck, had it cleared away. Moore at center of the puck, knocked off his stick. This is Ethan Moore again. Puck knocked off the stick of Duke Dalba right as he got to the Station Camp blue line. Andrew Grooms had the puck off his stick into the NBA zone, lost it, it was cleared, but then Bryant Waddell shooting it on goal from center. Either him or Dom DeMaria had to be turned away by Bland. Here's Dalba at center, passing it over to Ethan Sides. Sides, left wing side of the Station Camp zone. Couldn't get off the shot. Puck on the near side of the Station Camp zone. Cleared out by the Big Red. Sorry, cleared out by the Bison. Cortland Klett with it. Passing it up the far side. Dalba deflects it back into the Station Camp zone. And it's cleared out on the near side again. Josh Peffer sending it up the far side, back into the NBA zone. He was just behind the red line, so it's an icing. 9:21 to go in the first, and no goals on the board just yet. Draw is going to be to Galice's right. And Station Camp player encroached. It was McLean Gregory, moved too quickly right as the puck was coming down. They're going to make him take the draw in place of, I think it's Demaria. No, it was Toby Mahaffey. Draw one by NBA. Here's Matthew Moore. Dropping it back behind the net, and then a backhander from near the left-hand side by Trace Graham, turned away by Galice, and then he backed into the net and dislodged it. Draw is going to be to the right of Galice. One by NBA, and a shot from Trace Graham blocked on the left wing side. Puck will be brought out to center Josh Peffer poking it into the NBA zone one-handed. Trace Graham passes it out to center. Andrew Freck deflects it to the near side boards. Matthew Moore putting it on goal. Galise stops it. He was sliding around trying to cover it up. Eventually got it under his glove. 8:47 to go in the first and still 0-0. Draw is going to be to Galise's left. Draw in by NBA, but it's intercepted by Merritt Freeman, brought to center. Freeman right wing side of the NBA zone, taking a shot, stopped by Bland. From the right circle, and the rebound cleared out by NBA. No icing. Dom Reitz sends it around the boards to the near side. Puck behind the net. Reitz sending it up the near side. Demaria couldn't get a stick on it, held into the left point, and a shot from Lawson Brown turned away by Galise. Puck comes back out to the left-hand side of the net, and whistle blown because Galise again backed into the net and dislodged it. 8:11 to go in the first. Still zip. Draw to Galise's left once more. Station Camp with it. Bryant Waddell behind his own net. Sends it up the near side. Couldn't get it on the stick of Mahaffey, so it goes for an icing. Draws to Galise's left again. Run by the Big Red, but unable to hold it at the right point was James Lehrman. He has to go all the way back into his own zone to get it. Tries to pass it up the near side, intercepted Mahaffey. Mahaffey pass to the slot, intercepted by Trace Graham. Couldn't connect with Patrick Atmore. Puck back in the Station Camp zone. Bernier tries to clear it out. Mikey Bernier trying to clear it out of the slot. And it hit Ethan Moore, came back on goal, and Galise had to cover it. Correction, it was not Ethan Moore, it was Hunter Musser. Draw be to Galise's left. Draw one by NBA, and a shot from Locke Ross is blocked. Sorry, it's Cortland Klett. Locke Ross wears number 14. Here comes McLean Gregory through center back into the NBA zone. Shot from the right circle, went off the stick of Louis Delovic and passed the net to Bland's left. Trace Graham out to center. Graham back into the Station Camp zone. Shot on the right circle, goes off of the back checking Gavin Cole into the netting above the glass. 7:15 left in the first, still zip. And are we going to have ourselves a penalty? Yeah, it's a hooking call. It's against Station Camp, it looks like. It's against McLean Gregory, so NBA got the first power play of the game. No goals on the board. 7:15 left in the first. Draws to Galise's left again. It's like 5 straight draws to his left. One by NBA. Matthew Moore, right circle shot. Stopped and held onto by Galise. Draw beat is left again. One by the Big Red. Trace Graham, right point. Passing down the right wing to Matthew Moore. Moore, high slot. Graham, a shot. Stopped by Galise. He's got it covered. Draw to Galise's left yet again. One by the Big Red. Oh, Graham just kept it in the zone at the right point. Now he passes over to the left wing side. And a one-timer from Ethan Moore, turned away by Galise. Matthew Moore. Passing it up to the right point. Graham again. Graham with a shot through traffic. Turned away by Galise. Rebound turned away by Galise from in front. I think that may have been Andrew Freck. And now up. Merritt Freeman almost brought the puck out of the zone. He was brought down by Graham, who's going to go to the box. So it's a tripping call against Graham. So there goes NBA's power play. It'll be 73 seconds of a 4-on-4. 6:29 to go in the first. Still zip. Draws to Bland's right. Trace Graham with it. Minute left in the 4-on-4. Graham, sorry, it's Matthew Moore to center. Moore into the station camp zone, makes his way to the left circle. Has to go around the back of the net. Passes up to the right point, Cortland Klett. Passes over to the left point. Here's a shot, missed the net to the left of Galise. That shot coming from Lawson Brown. Puck back at the inboards of the station camp zone, picked up by Gavin Cole. Cole brings it to center, evades a hit from Duke Dalba. Right wing side of the NBA zone, a shot gloved and held on to by Bland. 29 seconds left in the 4-on-4. 5:45 to go in the first. Still no goals on the board. Draw is to Bland's left. Won by NBA. They clear it out of the zone. Here's Matthew Moore. Correction, it's Andrew Frecken of the station camp zone. The puck poked off his stick and it goes out. One minute left in the penalty against Trace Graham. Puck back in the station camp zone in the left wing. Picked up by Mahaffey. Stops behind his own net. Station camp about to go on the power play here. Penalty time against them is up in there now on the power play for 47 seconds. Puck out at center on the far side. Sent back into the station camp zone, and trying to dump it down the wall was Ethan Moore. And hit a station camp player and went out. Now it's dumped back into the NBA end. Conner Mazzoni flips it through the air. Back into the station camp zone. Merritt Freeman grabs it. Less than 30 seconds left in the power play for station camp. Freeman racing back into the NBA zone. Shot in the left circle. He whiffed on it. Whiffed on his shot attempt in the left circle. Puck comes out to the right point. Bryant Waddell passing it down the right wing to Freeman. Freeman shot, score! Freeman hits the roof of the net from the right dot. Station camp convert the power play and take a 1-0 lead with 4:42 to go in the first. Draw one by NBA. Puck ends up in the station camp zone. It's at the end boards. And now we get a whistle. Puck went out of play on the near side. Draw is going to be to the left of Galise. NBA with it. Puck carried out to the far side. There's a one-timer. Andrew Freck turned away by Galise off his glove. Freck on the near side. Now it's Trace Graham, a shot from near the left-hand side of the net. Stopped and covered up by Galise. 3:59 to go in the first. 1-0 station camp. And Merritt Freeman took a spill on the far side. I think he may have collided with a linesman over there. Draw's going to be to Galise's left. Draw in by NBA. Puck sent across the front of the net and wide to Galise's right by Trace Graham. Puck on the inboards. Trying to dig it loose. Came out in front, but then ended up going to the far side boards. Dom DeMario bring it out to center. DeMario back into the NBA zone in the left wing. Backhands it behind the net. It's in the right wing corner. Cortland Klett trying to send it around to the near side. Picked up by station campers. Mikey Bernier backhanding it down the left wing to Mahaffey. Toby Mahaffey dropping it to the inboards. Andrew Grooms wanted to put it out in front, ends up sending it to the far side. And the puck cleared out on the far side by NBA. Here's Andrew Freck bringing it back into the station camp zone. Passes over to Ethan Moore. A shot turned away by Galise from the right circle. Puck pass to Toby Mahaffey at the NBA. Blue line shot, score! Mahaffey from the high slot. It may have skipped off the stick of the back-checking Conner Mazzoni. Ended up in the back of the net because it took a hop right when it got to Trip Bland. And it's 2-0 Station Camp with 2:51 to go in the first. Oh boy, the 2 seed in some trouble early on. We've already seen 2 top 4 seeds go down. The one getting knocked out last week, that would be Ravenwood, and the 4 getting knocked out tonight, that's Hendersonville. The 2 seed NBA trailing 2-0 now, late in the first. Here's Conner Mazzoni. Mazzoni through center, back into the station camp zone on the left wing side. Shot is blocked. Bison clear it out. Here's Mahaffey, left wing side of the NBA zone. Back hits it out in front. Josh Peffer with a shot. I think Blaine got a piece of it. Gavin Cole on the left wing side. Passing below the goal line. McLean Gregory couldn't get it in his stick. It went past him. Clearing attempt knocked down on the far boards by Bryant Waddell. And then a second attempt. The puck does go out to center. Here's Toby Mahaffey. Passing it back up the far side. McLean Gregory steps back into the NBA zone. Puck knocked off his stick by Mazzoni, who clears it out. Puck back in the station camp end. Bison with it. Cleared up the near side. Went past an NBA player going to the bench, so they wave off the icing. Here's James Lehrman passing it up the far side. Matthew Moore across to Andrew Freck. Freck tried to drop it back, almost gave it away to Patrick Atmore, who was standing right behind him. Puck on the far side at center. Here is Trace Graham. Passing it over to Moore. Matthew Moore steps back into the station camp zone. Try to go across to Trace Graham. Couldn't get the stick in it. Puck in his stick. Here's Dom DeMaria passing it up the far boards to Andrew Grooms. Grooms backhanding it ahead to DeMaria. DeMaria out at center. Crosses the red line. Chips it into the NBA zone. It's to the inboard. Smacked around to the near side by Lehrman. Trace Graham with it at center. Back into the station camp zone on the left wing side. Minute left in the first. Graham goes to the inboards. Trying to put it out in front. Andrew Freck had a whack at it. He'll keep it in the zone. Shot in the top of the left circle. Misses the net to the right of Galise. Clearing attempt held in at the right point. Cortland Klett passed across the shot. Turned away by Galise. That was Trace Graham with a shot. Then he backhands it across the front of the net. It's on the near side. Station camp trying clear. Held in at the right point by Freck. Passes over to the left circle and a shot from Cortland Klett blocked. 30 seconds left in the period. Puck behind the net. Put out in front. Held in right at the blue line. Lawson Brown shot. Hit a skate and went out of the zone. Picked up Dom DeMaria. Shoots it on goal from center. Stopped by Bland. Puck passed up the far side. Off the stick of Freck. Sent the other way by Freeman. Dumped back into the station camp zone by Lawson Brown. Puck on the far side. Bryant Waddell clears it out. Sent back in, but a couple of NBA players have to get back on side, and that is it for the first. Merritt Freeman scoring with just under 5 minutes left in the first, and then nearly 2 minutes later, Toby Mahaffey making it 2-0. So Station Camp Liberty Creek-Nashville Christian leading NBA 2-0 after one. Montgomery Bell 2-0 after one in this Predators Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal. I'll be back in a few seconds with the start of the second. But if you're listening on the YouTube podcast, we're going to go ahead and take you to the start of the second period. Ready to start the second period. Carter Galeese still in goal for Station Camp. Trip Bland still in goal for NBA for the second period. Station Camp will carry the puck my left to right. NBA from my right to left. Draw one by NBA to start the second. It's dumped into the Station Camp zone by Ethan Sides. Dane Kramer will get to it at the end boards. Sent back the other way by an NBA stick. It's on the near side now. Kramer trying to clear it. Hits Matthew Moore. Moore trying to get to the net. Puts it out in front right under the stick of McLean Gregory. And Gregory banks it off the near glass. Held into the left point by Lawson Brown. His shot blocked by Gregory. Duke Dalbo with it now. His shot from the left point, gloved and held onto by Galeese. 13:28 to go in the second. 2-0 Station Camp. Update from Rink B. Mount Juliet leading the Outlaws 5-3 past the halfway point of regulation in that first Hein Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal. Draws to Galeese's right. One by Station Camp. Bernier trying to clear. Held into the left point by Lawson Brown, but he was fumbling on his stick and still evades a poke check attempt from Dom DeMaria. Merritt Freeman with it now on the near side. He'll fire it around the boards and out. Deflected out right at the blue line by Andrew Groom. Sent back the other way by NBA. And sent back the other way by Station Camp. Lawson Brown with it inside his own zone. Passes up the near side. Trace Graham sends it into the Station Camp zone, but right under the stick of Merritt Freeman. Freeman passing it up the far side. Hit the skate. Was that James Lehrman? Yes, it is James Lehrman. At the red line and went into the NBA zone, so no icing against the Bison. Somebody doesn't have a stick. There's a loose stick right at the end boards as the puck is sliding back into the Station Camp zone. Picked up on the right wing side. Trace Graham a shot from the right circle. Turned away by Galeese with a left leg pad. Puck out on the far boards on the right half wall. Here's Henry Burke taking a shot from the right point. Stopped by Galeese. And the puck carried out to center as Freeman on one knee. There's a whistle behind the play. And I think Freeman's going to be sent to the box. I know it's Mikey Bernier in the box for Station Camp. So is this a power play for NBA? Yes, it is. So the Big Red back to the power play down 2-0 with 12:21 to go in the second. I didn't see a signal what they called Bernier for. Draw is to the right of Galeese. One by NBA. Puck sent to the end boards. Bryant Waddell. And Duke Dalf, the tussle. Puck going over to the far side boards. Gavin Cole gets to it, and he'll fire it down. They called Bernier for slashing. Okay. Puck held in at the left point by Cole. Station Camp decide to clear it out of the NBA zone back into their own end. Bryant Waddell's going to get to it. Send it around to the far side. Gavin Cole settles it down. And it's cleared out again. This time by Toby Mahaffey. Correction, it's Josh Peffer. And Station Camp with the puck inside the NBA zone. There's going to be a penalty against the Big Red, an interference call. So once again, there goes their power play with more than a minute left on it. It's James Lehrman sitting in the box for interference. So 4-on-4 for 66 seconds, 11:28 left in the second, 2-0 Station Camp. Should note that NBA were trailing Innsworth 2-0 after one last week. And then they were trailing them 3-1. And it was 3-2 at the end of the second, and then early in the third, Trace Graham scored to tie the game, and then, of course, scored the winner in OT. Draw to the left of Trip Bland. One by NBA, cleared down ice for an icing. It's 4-on-4. Exactly a minute left in the 4-on-4 now. NBA with a puck off the draw. Conner Mazzoni brings it to center. Into the station camp zone on the left wing side, and it poked off his stick by Andrew Grooms. Merritt Freeman on the far side. And it's smacked by Trace Graham, but he held on to it. Now Freeman's going to bring it out to center on the near side, taken back by Matthew Moore, sent back into the station camp zone. But Andrew Grooms swipes it out before Trace Graham can get to it. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Puck on the far side at center. Grooms drops it back to McLean Gregory. Passes to the near side, Freeman. Drops it back, Gregory. Here's Gregory. Dropping it to the far side. Oh, but it's taken by Trace Graham. Graham around the back of the net. Puts it out in front of shot. Score! It's Moore! Gregory dropped it back, but he didn't pass it hard enough. He was trying to get it to Freeman. Graham picked it up, came around the back of the net, put it out in front, and Moore scores to get NBA on the board. It's 2-1 Station Camp with 10:31 to go in the second. 9 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Was not the best move by Gregory. He probably should have just crossed the red line and dumped it. Now he's given NBA a lifeline. Draw one by NBA. Minute left in the penalty against James Lehrman. NBA end up icing the puck from their own zone. It was Lawson Brown dumping it in. And the penalty time against Station Camp is up. They're now on the power play for 54 seconds. Lawson Brown thought they were shorthanded. No, that was an even strength goal that Moore scored. Now they're shorthanded. Draw is to the left of Bland. Station Camp with a puck. Mikey Bernier passing to the left wing side. Freeman to the left point. Waddell. Back across Bernier. Bernier a shot. Ooh, just missed the net to the right of Bland. He may have gotten a piece of it. Yep, they put it up on the board. Merritt Freeman puts the puck behind the net. Back out Freeman, left half wall. Freeman with a shot. Stopped by Bland. Rebound stopped by Bland. He's got it covered at his right-hand post. 29 seconds left in the power play for Station Camp. 9:57 left in the second. It is 2-1 Bison. Draws to Bland's right. One by NBA. Puck sent around the boards to the near side. Held into the right point by Mikey Bernier. Puck behind the net. Now Merritt Freeman at the left half wall. Puts it behind the net. Puck comes back to Freeman, who's now at the left point. Passes out to the center point. Bryant Waddell, a shot. Takes a deflection and goes over the net. Penalty time against NBA is up. They're back at even strength. Puck whipped around the boards to the far side. Ethan Moore chips it out to center. Knocked down by Freeman. Freeman backhands it back into the NBA zone. Lawson Brown sending it up the near side boards. Mikey Bernier takes it, takes a shot. Mahaffey looking for a deflection. Turned away by Bland. Now here's Matthew Moore, left wing side of the Station Camp zone. Puck knocked off his stick by Bryant Waddell, but it comes to the front of the net, and Galeese has to stop and cover. 8:49 to go in the second. 2-1 Station Camp. Draw's going to be to Galice's right. One by NBA. Left point, Conner Mazzoni moving down left wing. A shot, score! Mazzoni whips it into the roof of the net from just inside the top of the left circle. And now the game is tied 2-2 with 8:43 to go in the second. Puck in the NBA zone off the draw. Cleared out of the zone on the near side. Here's Trace Graham going down the left wing. Around the back of the station camp net. Trying to put it out in front. Nobody in a white sweater there. Held into the blue line. Conner Mazzoni shot. Hit the skates of Gregory. Came across to the bottom of the right circle. And Graham, who one-timed it past the net, to the left of Galice, and then Graham takes a shot from the top of the right circle that's gloved and held onto by Galice. 8:08 to go in the second. The game is tied at 2. Draw to the left of Galice. One by NBA, shot from the top of the right circle, misses the net to the right of Galice. That was Duke Dalba taking that. Puck out on the far boards. Dalba, right dot, a shot over the net. Shot from the left half wall, and Louis Jalovic into the chest of Galice, who hangs on for the whistle. Draws to Galice's right. One by NBA and a shot over the net from Ethan Moore. Galice got a piece of it to steer it over. Puck on the far boards. Mahaffey trying to clear. He's knocked down by Ethan Sides. Ethan Moore from the right half wall shot. Topped it and it went behind the net. Here's Mahaffey. Carrying it out to center. Mahaffey back in the NBA zone. Couldn't get around Louis Jalovic. Here is Duke Dalba. Dalba. Back into the station camp zone on the right wing. Gets to the front of the net. A shot stopped by Galice. Didn't know where the rebound was. Mikey Bernier clears it out. It's going to go for an icing. NBA picking up the pace. 7:13 left in the second. The game is tied at 2. Draws to Galice's right. One by NBA, a shot from Trace Graham, turned away by Galice. Rebound Matthew Moore, that's stopped by Galice as well. Puck passed up the far side, intercepted by James Lehrman before it could get to Merritt Freeman standing at the NBA blue line. Then he gets to the station camp blue line and it's poked off his stick. Here's Freeman into the NBA zone on the right wing side. Round the back of the net. Comes out to the left wing, out towards the blue line. Has to turn around and fire the puck to the inboards to keep it in the zone. Now it's in the right wing corner. NBA with it. Here's Trace Graham into the station camp zone, going to the front of the net. A shot. Score! NBA lead. They came into the second period trailing 2-0. Now they're leading 3-2 with 6:31 to go in the second. Graham gets to the front of the net and fires it into the back. Guess it was Matthew Moore who passed it up the near side. I didn't see. Kind of lose sight when it's right up against the wall here, especially the further down you go. But they have snatched this game. Here's Duke Dalba. Back into the station camp zone. Puck poked off his stick by Dane Kramer, and then he poked it away from Ethan Sides, too. At the other end, a shot from Toby Mahaffey. I think it may have hit Trip Bland in the mask, and then a shot from the right point misses the net to Bland's right. Here's Conner Mazzoni back into the station camp zone. Shot in the top of the right circle. Oh, wow, it hit Galise, and then it just dribbled past the net to his right. It almost went in anyway. And then a shot at the other end, gloved and held onto by Bland. 5:44 to go in the second, 3-2 NBA. And Trip Bland with a mask issue has to go to the bench and get swap masks. Swaps mask with Parker Eves, the NBA backup, and he returns to the crease. And now Eves steps off the bench to make any adjustments to Bland's mask. Draws to Bland's left. Puck goes to the inboard, smacked around to the far side and out. Unable to keep it alive at the left point was Bryant Waddell. It's back in the station camp zone. Andrew Freck skated past it. Here's Trace Graham trying to pass it out to the high slot. Intercepted by Andrew Grooms, who brings it to center. Grooms back into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Grooms with a shot, misses the net to the right of Bland. Puck backhanded out by Graham. And then with one hand, Andrew Freck redirects it back into the station camp zone, and it would have missed the net to Galise's left, but he comes out and plays it, covers it up to get the whistle. 5:12 to go in the second, still 3-2, NBA. Draws to Galise's left. One by NBA. Puck sent to the inboards by Andrew Freck. It's coming around to the near side. Matthew Moore, wanted to take a shot when he backed up to the blue line, but the puck left his sticking out of the zone. Now it's brought into the NBA zone on the left wing side by Andrew Grooms. Tried to drop it back. It's intercepted. Cleared out by the Big Red. The puck went to the near side boards, crossed the station camp blue line, and Dane Kramer and I think Ethan Moore both went for it, and it went off of Kramer's stick into the NBA bench. 4:43 left in the second. 3-2 NBA. Draws to the right of Galise. Draw one by station camp. Cleared out up the near side, McLean Gregory. Trying to get into the NBA zone, and the puck taken away. Puck back in the station camp end, or near the station camp blue line. Here's Lawson Brown. Carrying it back into the station camp zone. Taken away by Gavin Cole. He'll clear it out. Duke Dalba flips it through the air, back into the station camp end. Dane Kramer sending it around to the far side. In the right wing corner, it's Gavin Cole. Cole behind his own net. Passes it to his own blue line. McLean Gregory deflects it out. From the red line, it's dumped back into the NBA zone by Mahaffey. Puck out at center on the near side. It's back in the station camp end. Bison control. Mikey Bernier passing it up the far side. Now there's Duke Dalba bringing it back into the station camp zone. Dalba, left circle shot, stopped by Galise. Rebound near the right-hand side of the net, sent away by Bernier, still in the zone, and then a shot from Mazzoni. Takes a deflection off the stick blade of Matthew Moore, bounces on goal. Galise makes the save and hangs on. 3:22 to go in the second. 3-2 NBA. Draws to the right of Galise. One by NBA. Trace Graham, top of the left circle, tried to move down, ran into Dom DeMaria, lost the puck. Gavin Cole clears it out up the near side. Dump back into the NBA zone. Here's Bryant Waddell, banking it off the far side glass. Here's Matthew Moore bringing it back into the station camp end. Passing across to near the left-hand side of the net, and a shot from Trace Graham, stopped by Galise, who backs into the net and dislodges it. Draws to Galise's left. Draw one by NBA. Trace Graham loses the puck. Merritt Freeman brings it out to center, but he's pickpocketed by Graham. As soon as he brings it out of the zone, Graham flips it through the air, and it lands right on goal. Galise having to stop and cover. 2:49 to go in the second. 3-2 NBA. Draw to Galise's left again. Station Camp trying to get it out of the zone. It's on the near side. Pass went to the slot off the stick of Andrew Grooms. Now the puck in the NBA zone. Grooms in the front of the NBA net. A shot gloved and held on to. Actually, no, it was behind Trip Bland. It was between his legs, between his calves, behind him. So Station Camp getting a good scoring chance here. Their first real good one of this second period. Draw is going to be to the right of Galise. One by the Big Red. Puck sent around the boards to the near side. Cleared out. Ethan Sides pushes it into the Station Camp zone. Oh, Dom DeMaria nearly left it behind trying to clear it out. Then Mikey Bernier comes in and clears it out. Here's Andrew Grooms. Right wing side of the Station Camp zone. A shot blockered away by Bland, put out in front for Grooms. Bland didn't see it. And then Grooms didn't get off a good enough shot, and Bland able to cover. Wow, that was close. 2:11 to go in the second. 3-2 NBA. Draw to Bland's left. One by Station Camp, a one-timer from the right point, and Bernier off of Bland's left leg pad. Now the puck at center. Lawson Brown passing it to the far side. Hunter Musser brings it back into the Station Camp zone. Correction, it's Ethan Moore bringing it back into the Station Camp zone, trying to pass it to Ethan. Slides in the high slot, and he couldn't get the puck to Sides, and he was kind of annoyed by that. Duke Dalba passing up to the right point. Lawson Brown back down the right wing to Dalba. Dalba below the goal line. Put out in front for Ethan Sides. It's smacked away. Dalba holding it in. Backhanding it up to the right point. And Lawson Brown went off his stick on top of the blue line. He just kept it in. And Ethan Moore with a shot from the right point. Stopped and held on to by Galise. 81 seconds to go in the second. 3-2 NBA. Draw me to Galise's left. One by the Big Red. Henry Burke shot in the top of the right circle. Misses the net to the right of Galeese. Here's Toby Mahaffey trying to clear it out up the near side. Held into the left point, Mazzoni. Mazzoni taking a shot. Gloved and held on to by Galeese. Draw be to Galeese's right once again. One by NBA. Puck sent around the kick plate by Mazzoni to the far side. Gavin Cole with it for Station Camp. He'll pass it ahead to McLean Gregory at center. We're inside the final minute of the second. Puck sent back the other way by NBA. It's in the Station Camp zone again. Wyatt Waddell passing to the far side, and Cole passing ahead to McLean Gregory. Here is Josh Peffer, left wing side of the NBA zone, getting pushed into the boards. Big battle for the puck just above the left half wall. Still battling, 30 seconds left in the second now. Puck going down the wall towards the left wing corner. Peffer with it, wanted to put it out in front. Trying to backhand it to the front of the net. Puck in the left wing corner. And it's going to be iced by the Big Red. 12.9 seconds to go in the second. The game, it's 3-2 NBA. I was about to say the game is tied. No, it's not. NBA are leading. Draws to Bland's right. Draw one by Station Camp. Mikey Bernier with a backhander from the center point that misses the net to Bland's left. Here's Merritt Freeman trying to pass it up to the right point, and it goes out of the zone. It's iced by NBA with 0.6 left. Draw is going to be to Bland's left. And Station Camp are going to pull Carter Galeese and have the net empty for this draw. Merritt Freeman playing way out on the far side. They drop the puck, and that's it for the second, where NBA score 3 unanswered from Matthew Moore, Conner Mazzoni, and Trace Graham in that order. And Montgomery Bell now leads Station Camp Liberty Creek-Nashville Christian 3-2 after 2 in this second Predators Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal. I'll be back in a few seconds with the start of the third. But if you're listening on the YouTube podcast, we're going to go ahead and take you to the start of the third period. Ready to start the third period of this one. Trip Bland still in goal for NBA. Carter Galeese still in goal for Station Camp for this third period. NBA will carry the puck my left to right. Station Camp from my right to left. If Station Camp tie the game up and the third period ends that way, we'll go to a 5-minute 3-on-3 sudden death overtime. And if that doesn't solve it, a shootout will. Station Camp win the draw to start the third, but give it away to NBA. Duke Dalba dumps it into the Station Camp zone. Now Dalba with it as a clearing attempt from Mikey Bernier was held in. Another clearing attempt held into the left point. Lawson Brown shot deflects across the front of the net. Puck on the near side. Put out in front, intercepted by Station Camp, and fired down the ice past the NBA net for an icing. 13:29 left in regulation, 3-2 Big Red. Popped over to rink B. They've got just under 2 minutes left in regulation over there in that Hein Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal. Mount Juliet leading the Outlaws 5-4. So the Bears trying to hang on and get a spot in next week's Losers Bracket semifinal. The first spot. Draw is to the left of Galeese. And it goes out of the zone on the far side. NBA won it. Dumped back in by Conner Mazzoni. One of the 3 goal scorers for NBA in the second period. Here is Gavin Cole. Passing it up the far side, Dom DeMaria. DeMaria crosses the red line, shoots it on goal from center. Off the leg pads of Bland up into the air, and he gloves it to get the whistle. Draw is going to be to Bland's left. Won by the Bison. Here's Gavin Cole out at the center point. Shot hit a NBA player, came towards the front of the net. Dom DeMaria's backhander was blocked. Here's Matthew Moore, left wing side of the station camp zone, leaving it for Andrew Freck. Sends it to the end boards. Trace Graham pinned up against the boards by Merritt Freeman. That'll allow Cole to pick up the puck. Fire it out to center. It hit the back of Freck, allowing Matthew Moore to dump it back into the station camp zone. Puck off the boards. Freck gets to it. NBA making a couple of changes. Freck in the left wing corner. Here's Ethan Moore coming out to the top of the left circle, and his shot blocked. Puck brought back to center. Dom DeMaria shooting on goal from center, and it is between the knees of Trip Bland. Shooting on goal from just behind the blue line. 12:08 left in regulation, still 3-2 NBA. Draw to the left of Bland. Won by Station Camp. Puck sent around to the near side boards. Brian Waddell holds it into the left point despite a poke check attempt by Ethan Moore. Another clearing attempt held into the left point, this time by McLean Gregory. Then it's sent down the left wing, and this time it's cleared out, finally cleared out by James Lehrman. Dumped back in from the red line by Waddell. Lehrman to the end boards, sending it up the near side. Ethan sides, deflects it out. Here's Waddell. Dropping it to the near side. Oh, and Mahaffey couldn't keep it in his stick, but McLean Gregory pokes it away from Dalba. Puck is back in the NBA zone. Josh Pepper's shooting it, sending it down the slot to the net. Shot stop. Rebound. Oh, Mahaffey couldn't control with Bland a little bit out of position in front. Puck held into the blue line again, this time by Gregory. Gregory's shot hit Matthew Moore. And now the puck backhanded out to center. Sides on the near side. Crosses the red line, dumps it back into the Station Camp end. Puck on the far side, picked up by Grooms. Passes across to Waddell, couldn't keep it in his stick. Here's Trace Graham. Dumping it back into the Station Camp end. Puck brought back into the NBA zone by Mahaffey, but he can't get around Conner Mazzoni, who takes it away and clears. Here's Andrew Freck, left wing side of the Station Camp zone, taking a shot. I don't think that hit Galise. I think it missed the net. Mahaffey handing it off to Gregory. Gregory tried to get out of the zone, could not. Held into the left point by Moore, Matthew Moore. Puck brought out to the left wing side. A shot missed the net. That was Graham. The bottom of the left circle, firing it across the front of the net. Dom reaches behind the net. Passing it up the far side and out. Here's Andrew Grooms backhanding it back into the NBA zone. Conner Mazzoni with it. Sends it back up the far side. Dumped back in by dumped back in by Mikey Bernier. Grooms it to get back on side. Here's Andrew Freck, right wing side of the Station Camp zone. Moves to the left edge of the slot and gets off a shot that's off the left leg pad of Galise. Puck out on the far boards. Dom DeMaria taps it out to center. Backhanded back in by Ethan Moore, but then quickly cleared right back out. It's back in the NBA zone. Tracked down by Cortland Klett. Klett behind his own net. Spins away from Dom DeMaria. Passes the puck up the near side to Ethan Moore, who couldn't hang on to it. DeMaria backhands it back into the NBA zone. It's on the far side. Cleared out by Louis Jalovic. Mikey Bernier backhands it back in. Merritt Freeman has to get back on side and does. Here's Jalovic. Tried to clear, held into the blue line. Mikey Bernier, a shot knocked down by Jalovic with his left hand. Cortland Klett flips it out to center. Here's Ethan Moore back into the station camp zone. A shot deflects off the back-checking Waddell and past the net to the left of Gleese. Merritt Freeman at center, passing across to Demaria. Demaria back in the NBA zone, a shot off the stick, I think, of Jalovic. Missed the net to the left of Bland, but then the rebound off the boards is put in by Demaria. The puck missed the net. The shot missed the net. The initial shot missed the net to Bland's left. Came off the boards. Then back out to the bottom of the right circle, and Demaria one times the rebound in to tie the game at 3 with 8:41 to go in regulation. NBA bring the puck into the station camp zone. Oh, and somehow held atop the blue line at the left point. A shot stopped by Gleese, and then he stops a rebound try from Andrew Freck. Initial shot from the left point, and Lawson Brown. Draw is going to be to Gleese's left. Draw one by NBA. James Lehrman sending the puck around the boards from the right point. Matthew Moore with a shot from the top of the left circle. Misses the net to the right of Gleese. Puck will be brought out to center. Mikey Bernier trying to pass it to McLean Gregory. It's in the NBA zone. Oh, and Toby Mahaffey couldn't get a stick on it in the slot, but he was tripped. Now they're going to call a slash. It's going to be against Matthew Moore. So Station Camp, their first full power play of the game. First full 2-minute power play of the game. 7:58 left in regulation. The game is tied at 3. And Mount Juliet did hang on to beat the Outlaws 5-4. So the 3 seed out of the Hein Cup. Draw to the left of Bland. One by NBA. They're trying to clear it out. Held in on the far side by McLean Gregory. Drops it down the wall. Ethan Moore took a hit, and he's holding his right shoulder. Took a hit from Gregory. Here's Merritt Freeman putting the puck out in front. Whiffed on by Gregory. Puck on the inboards. Freeman passing it up to the right point, and Bernier. Over to Grooms. Grooms taking a shot. Hit the shins of Trace Graham. Here's Gregory. Passing out to the blue line. Freeman at the right point. Try to go back down the left wing to Gregory. That was broken up by Graham and cleared out. NBA will change, make a couple of changes. Merritt Freeman passing up the near side. Gregory back into the NBA zone on the left wing. He'll fire it around the kick plate to the far side. Mahaffey gets to it. Drops it behind the net. Freeman comes out to the right wing side. Freeman tried to pass across to Waddell off the stick of Andrew Frecken out. Under a minute left in the power play for Station Camp. Waddell passing it up the far side. Mahaffey. Mahaffey back into the NBA zone on the right wing. Taking a shot, turned away by Bland. Puck cleared out on the near side. Waddell will bring it right back in. Waddell tried to put it out for Gregory. Couldn't get a shot on it. Couldn't get a clean shot. Freckle clear. 30 seconds left in the power play for Station Camp. Here's Demaria. Demaria passing up the far side. Gregory will deflect it back into the NBA zone, so no icing. Pucks to the inboards. Mazzoni firing it up the far side. Off the stick of Demaria, staying in the zone. But then Demaria couldn't control. He almost fell over it. Duke Dalba clears. Puck hit the linesman and stays near the NBA blue line. Now it's sliding back into the Station Camp zone. Waddell picks it up. Power NBA, penalty time against NBA is up there back at even strength. Here's Waddell back into the NBA zone. Pushed into the boards as Ethan Moore is making his way back to the NBA dressing room. Here's Matthew Moore out at center. Back into the station camp zone on the right wing side. Puck got away from him when he went to shoot. Puck on the near side. Station camp get it out of their zone. Here's Josh Peffer. One-handed dump in from behind the NBA blue line. Puck comes out in front of it to be swatted out of the crease by Bland. Puck on the far side now. Mikey Bernier chipping it down the right wing boards to the right wing corner. Here's Matthew Moore. Trying to clear it out. Right back to Bernier. Right point, a shot. Stopped by Bland. It took a skip and he gloves it and hangs on. 5:11 to go in regulation. Still 3-3. Draw's going to be to Bland's left. Won by NBA. Puck back in it around to the near side. Conner Mazzoni rumps into Henry Burke. Manages to pass it up the far side to Cortland Klett. Klett to Graham. Trace Graham, right wing side of the station camp zone. A shot. Kicked away by Galeese with a right leg pad. Here's Merritt Freeman. Passing it ahead to Andrew Grooms. Grooms left wing side of the NBA zone. Grooms with a shot. Stopped. It's in the crease. Score! Freeman! Bland made the initial save, but he couldn't cover. And Freeman crashes the net, backhands it in for his second goal of the game. And it's 4-3 Station Camp with 4:46 left in regulation. And timeout has been called by NBA. And I'm going to take this opportunity to step away from the mic. Okay, timeout done. Face off at center. NBA win the draw. Here's Cortland Klett. Dumping it into the station camp zone. It's behind the net. Bryant Waddell tried to smack it out up the near side. Didn't get enough wood on it. And then a shot from the right edge of the slot misses to Carter Galeese's left. Shot from the right point misses the net to Galeese's left. Puck out on the far side. Now it's behind the net. Puck passed up to the right point. James Lehrman passed it back down the right wing. Put it in front of and whiffed on from right in front by Graham, I think. I think it was Trace. Yeah, it was Trace. Holds it into the blue line, gets up a shot. Misses the net to the left of Galeese. NBA trying to keep the puck alive at the right point. Shot in the right circle, turned away by Galeese. Rebound try stopped by Galeese. And the puck is cleared down ice by Station Camp for an icing. 3:49 left in regulation. 4-3 Bison. Trying to hang on and knock off the 2 seed. Draws to Galeese's left. Draw one by NBA and a shot from the right point by Graham, gloved and held onto by Galeese. If Station Camp hang on and win this game, that means 3 of the top 4 Preds Cup seeds will all be done. Draw to Galeese's left once again. One by Station Camp. They'll clear it down ice. It's on goal. Bland stops it and then passes off. Oh, Conner Mazzoni couldn't get his stick on it. Put out in front for Gavin Cole by Josh Peffer, and he whiffed on it. Big break for NBA there. At the other end, Trace Graham with a shot blocked. On the back check, Merritt Freeman trying to clear it out on the far side. Held into the left point. Comes back down the left wing boards. Freeman again can't clear it out. Graham holds it in. He gets pushed off the puck. Keeps it on his stick. Keeps it in his zone. Gets up a shot off the glove of Galeese. Puck on the near side. Henry Burke passing to the left point. Conner Mazzoni, a shot, score! Mazzoni roofs it from the left point for his second goal of the game, and we're tied again. 4-4 with 3:04 to go in regulation. Wow. Station Camp with a puck in their own zone, trying to get it out, and they do. Brought back into the NBA zone, a shot from the top of the right circle, stopped and covered up by Bland. Was Toby Mahaffey. Draw. Won by NBA. Puck backhanded to the near side boards by Lawson Brown. Flipped out to center by Ethan Sides. It's back in the Station Camp zone. Quickly cleared out. Brought back into the NBA end from the high slide. A shot by McLean Gregory off a stick and just past the net to the left of Bland. Unable to keep the puck alive at the right point was Bernier. Here's Duke Dalba. Left wing side of the Station Camp zone. A shot turned away by Galeese off his left leg pad, and it goes all the way out to center. Here's Brown. Dumping it back into the Station Camp end towards the net. And Galeese decides to scoop it up off the ice with his glove and hang on for the whistle. 2:13 left in regulation. The game is tied at 4. Draw to Galeese's right. Won by NBA, a shot from Trace Graham, blockered away by Galeese. Puck at the end boards, backing it out in front. Graham, top of the left circle, a shot, turned away by Galeese. Puck put out in front, but sliding breakup by Andrew Grooms. Puck now on the near side, and it's out at center. Merritt Freeman poking it into the NBA zone. He falls over. Now Freeman behind the net. Puts it out in front for Grooms. Couldn't get the shot off. Puck on the near side boards. Moore trying to get out of it. Hits Grooms. Stays in the zone. Grooms with a shot. Blockered up into the air by by Bland. And cleared out. It's going to be iced by NBA. With 89 seconds left in regulation and the game tied at 4. And now Station Camp are going to use their timeout. Wow. What a night this has been. What a pair of games we've had. As I update the Hein Cup bracket again, Mount Juliet beating the Outlaws 5-4, so the Outlaws season is over, but I'm sure they'll feel hard done by having to after losing last night, having to turn around and play a team that didn't play for just over a week in an elimination game. I'm sure they will feel done by on that account. Draw is going to be in the NBA zone to the left of Bland. Puck on the far boards. NBA will clear it out. It's going to be an icing. No, they wave it off. They said it went off a Station Camp sticking its way down the ice. It was Lawson Brown who cleared it out. Puck on the end boards, Merritt Freeman. Banking it up the far side and out to center. Brown giving it to Matthew Moore. Actually popped up in the air. Moore dropped it and caught it and dropped it. Now the puck back in the station camp zone, but cleared out. Final minute of regulation. Bryant Waddell to center. Back into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Sends the puck past the net to the left of Bland. Puck cleared out by the Big Red. Here's Waddell. Dropping it back to Freeman. Merritt Freeman across to the far side. Mikey Bernier, who don't know where the puck was. Trace Graham brings it back. Oh, offside. Was fumbling it at the blue line. And Cortland Klett stepped into the zone before Graham brought the puck in to trigger the offside whistle. 37.1 seconds left in regulation. The game is tied at 4. Are we going to OT? Or is somebody going to score a late winner like Madden Chandler did for Page against Hendersonville in the first game of the night? NBA win the draw, getting into the station camp zone. Freeman gets to it, tries to clear it out. He ends up sending it into the netting above the glass on the far side. 30 seconds left in regulation. Ethan Moore back on the bench, holding his right shoulder. He took a shoulder-to-shoulder hit earlier in this period from McLean Gregory. Draw to the right of Galeese. Won by the Bison. Puck fired around the boards to the near side now. It's back in the NBA zone, but offside warning against Station Camp. They have to get back on side. Puck passed up the near side to Dalby. He couldn't get a stick on it. They say he deflected it into the Station Camp zone, so no icing. Station Camp. Bring the puck out to center. Gavin Cole passing it up the far side. Did not get it to McLean Gregory. It's back in the Station Camp zone. Poked off Matthew Moore's stick, and that's it. We're going to OT. We are going to overtime. Merritt Freeman put Station Camp up 4-3 with just over 4 minutes left, but Conner Mazzoni scoring his second goal of the game to tie it up. And so after 3 periods of regulation, Station Camp, Liberty Creek, Nashville Christian, and Montgomery Bell are tied at 4 in this second Predators Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal. I'll be back in a few seconds with the start of overtime, but if you're listening on the YouTube podcast, we're going to go ahead and take you to the start of the OT period. Ready to start the overtime period. Carter Galeese still in goal for Station Camp. Trip Bland still in goal for NBA. It's 3-on-3, sudden death for 5 minutes. On the ice for NBA, Matthew Moore, Trace Graham, and Conner Mazzoni. For Station Camp, Merritt Freeman, Toby Mahaffey, and McLean Gregory. Station Camp will carry the puck from my left to right for this overtime. NBA from my right to left. If nobody scores, we're off to a shootout. Draw one by NBA. Here's Conner Mazzoni tracking it down inside his own zone. Mazzoni had the game-tying goal late in regulation. Mazzoni back into the Station Camp zone on the left wing side. Passes it up the far side. Trace Graham will hold it in at the right point. Actually, he'll drop back to center with a puck. Passes it to Moore. Matthew Moore back into the Station Camp zone. Wanted to get off a shot, but he couldn't hang on to the puck. Toby Mahaffey with it. He'll bring it to center. Mahaffey back into the NBA zone. Oh, he lost the puck trying to get around Mazzoni. But then he takes it back. Shot from Gregory. Stopped by Trip Bland. Mahaffey lost the puck for a second, then he got it back. And then a shot from Gregory turned away by Bland. Here's Merritt Freeman back inside his own zone. We've played 1 minute of the overtime. Freeman to center. Passing it to the near side. Hoping Gregory will dump it in, and he does. Gregory brings it into the NBA zone. Leaves it for Freeman. Freeman, right circle shot. Stopped by Bland with a left leg pad. Freeman behind the net. Passing it to the top of the right circle, Gregory. Toby Mahaffey coming off for Andrew Grooms. Gregory passing it out to the far boards. Grooms drops it back to Freeman so Gregory can make a change. On comes Dom DeMaria. Here's Freeman. Back into the NBA zone. A shot turned away by Bland. Freeman in the left wing corner. Pass across DeMaria. Oh, off his stick and past the net to Bland's left. DeMaria comes out to the left circle. Passes out to the left point. Freeman across to Grooms. A shot. Stopped by Bland, excuse me. Freeman's going to come off for a change. Bryant Waddell on in his place. Here is DeMaria. Passing out to the left half wall. Grooms with a shot. Blockered up into the air by Bland and into the netting above the glass. Station Camp dominating this overtime. 2:54 left in the extra period. Game tied at 4 as Matthew Moore, Trace Graham, and Conner Mazzoni finally come off the ice. Duke Dalba, Andrew Freck, and Lawson Brown on in their place. Mahaffey back out there for Station Camp. Draws to the right of Bland. Bison win the draw, but Freck takes it on the far side boards, and he'll bring it out to center. Freck back into the Station Camp zone. Sends it to the end boards. Trying to catch up to him in the right wing corner. Tap past him by Mahaffey. Dalba trying to keep it in the Station Camp zone. He does, but he's kicked away from him by a bypassing Grooms, who sends it to the far boards in the right wing corner, picked up by Waddell. Waddell drops it back. Here's Mahaffey. Mahaffey exits the zone. Freck approached him. He backhands the puck across to the far side. As Dalba fell over, here's Waddell, left wing side of the NBA zone. A shot missed the net to the right of Bland. Puck rolling at its edge back into the Station Camp zone. Caught up to by Mahaffey. Trace Graham back on the ice in place of Freck. Here's Mahaffey back into the NBA zone. His shot off the stick of Graham into the netting above the glass. 2:01 to go in the OT. Still 4-4. Brown and Dalba will leave the ice. Back on come Matthew Moore and Conner Mazzoni. Drawby to Bland's left. Puck coming to the front of the NBA net off the draw, picked up by Graham. Graham passing it ahead to Moore. Matthew Moore out to center. Across to Conner Mazzoni. Mazzoni, left wing side of the Station Camp zone. Taking a shot. Score! Conner Mazzoni with a hat-trick goal! Fires it into the roof of the net from the top of the left circle. And NBA survive. They win 5-4 in OT. My word, Conner Mazzoni. Conner Mazzoni saves the Big Red, saves their season, and scores the OT winner to complete a hat trick. And NBA beats Station Camp Liberty Creek-Nashville Christian 5-4 in overtime. Wow. My goodness. And Station Camp season is over. And finally, in a big game this season, they had somebody other than Matthew Moore and Trace Graham contributing to the scoring. And it's Conner Mazzoni, a freshman, with a hat trick. And that is NBA moving on to the losers bracket semi on Monday night to take on Page. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It was incredible. That was incredible. Unbelievable. Conner Mazzoni. He saved the Big Red season. Scored the game-tying goal late in regulation and then scores the winner in OT. So the goal scorers in this one for MBA, 2 goals for Merritt Freeman, and the others came from Toby Mahaffey and who else? Dom DeMaria. Yeah, Dom DeMaria. And for MBA, hat trick for Conner Mazzoni, and the other goals came from Trace Graham and Matthew Moore. And player of the game, I'm going to split it between Conner Mazzoni and Trip Bland because Station Camp, for much of this overtime, dominated possession, and Bland stopped every shot they threw at him. So he's getting half of the player of the game award, and the other half goes to Conner Mazzoni for scoring a hat trick. As NBA win this one 5-4. And they and Page Summit will play each other on Monday, next Monday, in the Predators Cup Losers Bracket semifinal. And a season for Station Camp that started off so beautifully, in the middle of it turned into a complete disaster. They almost missed out on the Preds Cup. They win their regular season finale emphatically, then open the Preds Cup by beating the 1 seed as the 8, and then nearly knock off the 2, only to lose in overtime in the end. What a season for Station Camp Liberty Creek-Nashville Christian. Unfortunately, they are losing quite a bit of talent. They're losing in terms of graduating seniors. Toby Mahaffey, McLean Gregory, Marshall McMurtry. Man, when's the last time I saw Marshall? Did I see him at all this season? Peyton Brogdon, Patrick Atmore, Mikey Bernier, Britton Watson, and Merritt Freeman. Mahaffey, Gregory, Bernier, and Freeman are big losses, but they get back next year. Bryant Waddell, they get Gavin Cole back next year. Miller Campbell comes back next year. Bryant Waddell, Tom Siciliano, Dom DeMaria, Josh Peffer, Dom Reitz, Gracie Clark, Carter Galise, Andrew Grooms, and Dane Kramer. But still, that's 8 players that they're losing to graduation, and I don't know. I don't know if they'll bounce back and be in the Preds Cup again next year. It depends on how Keith Grooms is able to fill those holes. And while I'm at it, again, Mount Juliet beat the Outlaws 5-4 in the Hein Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinals, so the season is done for the Outlaws. Here's who they're saying goodbye to in terms of graduating seniors. Emerson Kennard, Josh Kane, that's a very big loss. He was their leading scorer. Iskandar Islamov, Dawson Reynolds, that's a big loss in goal. Clive Keeler, that's another big loss. He and Josh Kane were a tandem. Thomas Redden. So both of the Outlaws goalies, they're the 2 goalies they had in the roster all year, they're gone. Jackson Collins, Bob Cobb, in their regular season finale against Page Summit, Bob Cobb got a unsportsmanlike conduct match penalty. He was given a 3-game suspension. Fortunately for him, he did complete it tonight when they won their Hein Cup opener against Brentwood last week. That was 1 game served, and even though they lost to Indy last night, there was 2 games served, and then he finished it off tonight with the game against Mount Juliet. And Mark White. Mark White's another big loss. I thought Mark White was their 3rd best skater this season. He was quick and could maneuver well. But, yeah, those are big losses for the Outlaws. But, again, they're a supplemental team, so they might find a bunch of kids and maybe stay near the middle of the pack. James Daniels should be coming back next year. Logan Wood, Ben Kelly, Cam Miles, Noah Kane, Josh's brother. He was only a freshman this season. So, yeah, Outlaws and Station Camp saying goodbye to quite a bit of talent as their seasons respectively end tonight. Let me just see if I updated the brackets. Did I? Yep. Entered the Mount Juliet Outlaw score and entered both scores from tonight. Yep. Okay, so our final scores tonight in the Preds Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinals, it was Page Summit beating Hendersonville Beach Lawson 4-3. And just now in overtime, Montgomery Bell beating Station Camp Liberty Creek-Nashville Christian 5-4. And in the first Hein Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal, it was Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon beating the Outlaws 5-4 in regulation. So here is the schedule for next week. A busy week next week. We got games on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So on Monday, both winners bracket finals, as well as the losers bracket semifinal for the Preds Cup and the second losers bracket quarterfinal for the Hein Cup. 2 6:30 start times, both the winners bracket finals. Over on Rink B at Centennial, the Preds Cup winners bracket final between Nolensville and Franklin. And down in the Terry Crisbrink in Bellevue, the Hein Cup winners bracket final between Independent Centennial and Father Ryan. I think that Indy are the only team that can stop Father Ryan from winning the Hein Cup. Them and Brentwood, but Brentwood are in the losers bracket. And I don't know, after getting knocked in there in the first round, I don't know if they can make it all the way through. Excuse me. Then at 8:15 over on Rink B here at Centennial, it's the Preds Cup Losers Bracket semifinal. Page Summit taking on MBA. That's the 3 versus the 2. So another top 4 seed is going to get knocked out. We've had 2 top 4 seeds knocked out. Ravenwood the 1, Hendersonville the 4, and now we're going to have either the 2 or 3. And on the Terry Crisbrink in Bellevue at 8:15, it's the second Hein Cup Losers Bracket quarterfinal. Brentwood BAUSN taking on JB2MLK GCS. The loser of that game is done. The winner will play Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon in the Losers Bracket semifinal next Wednesday at 7:10 here on Rink A at Centennial. And that'll be followed by the Preds Cup Losers Bracket final. It says 8 o'clock on the GNASH website. It should be 8:45. That'll be between the Nolensville-Franklin loser and the Page MBA winner. But, actually, no, I'm wrong about that. I think they will do bench by seeds. Yeah, because Nolensville are the 7 and Franklin are the 5, and they're in the winners bracket final. And the losers bracket semifinal is between the 3 and the 2. But whoever gets knocked into the losers bracket final or out of the Nolensville-Franklin game will be the away team. And then next Thursday, February 26th, it's the Hein Cup losers bracket final between either JP2, Brentwood, or Mount Juliet, and the Indy Father Ryan loser. It's 7:30 in the North Ring at Antioch. So here's what we're doing next week. Monday, we're going to be over here at Centennial. 6:25 pregame for a 6:30 face-off between Nolensville and Franklin. Then an 8:10 pregame for an 8:15 face-off for the losers bracket semi between Page and MBA. The next Wednesday, 7:05 pregame for a 7:10 face-off between Mount Juliet and whoever wins the Brentwood JP2 game. Then an 8:40 face-off for an 8:40 pregame for an 8:45 face-off between the Page MBA winner and the Nolensville-Franklin loser. And then next Thursday, a week from tomorrow night, 7:25 p.m. pregame for a 7:30 face-off between either Brentwood, Mount Juliet, or JP2 and the Indy Father Ryan loser. Junior Varsity League playoffs are ongoing. That is a single elimination tournament. Let me just pull up that bracket real quick. 3 of the semifinal spots have been claimed. Hendersonville looking to finish off a perfect season. They're going to take on Franklin in the first semi on Friday night. 6-seed USNBA awaiting the winner of tomorrow night's last quarterfinal between 7-seed MBA and 2-seed Station Camp. Ain't that funny? They just played each other in a Preds Cup elimination game. Now they're playing each other in the last quarterfinal of the JV playoffs. So on Friday at 6:15, the first JV League playoff semifinal between Hendersonville and Franklin on Rink 2 in Bellevue, and then that'll be followed at 7:30 by USNBA taking on the MBA Station Camp winner. Before we go, I want to give some on-air shout-outs to Bree and Hayden Bland, the parents of Trip Bland, Glenn Bland, Trip Bland's grandfather, Jenny and Greg Dalba, Duke Dalba's parents, and Don and Stacy Graham, Trace Graham's parents. They purchased our full season membership package of perks on our Buy Me a Coffee page. That gets them listed in the GNASH newsletter, which is published almost daily. They're getting this on-air shout-out for any and all NBA games I cover, and they're getting this in any and all NBA games I cover as downloadable MP3s. We are just past the halfway point of the postseason, and we are offering playoff-only memberships. And they're now half off. If you just want your name listed in the newsletter, it's $3.75. But if you want the package of perks, that's your name listed in the newsletter, on-air shout-outs for any and all games I cover of the team that you support, and downloadable MP3s of any and all games I cover of the team that you support. That's just $7.50. Go to buymeacoffee.com, BUYMEACOFFE.com/Mid10Sportsnet, MIDTN, SBR, RTSNET. And in the top right-hand corner where it says Support Middle Tennessee Sports Network, type in either $3.75 or $7.50. And if you're buying the package of perks, tell me who you support so I can put you on my Google Doc. And know when to shout you out. Again, that's buymeacoffee.com, BUYMEACOFFE.com/Mid10Sportsnet, MIDTN, SPORTSNET. And again, in that top right-hand corner where it says Support Middle Tennessee Sports Network, type in either $3.75 if you just want your name listed in the newsletter, or $7.50 for the package of perks. Oh, my God. I am so glad there aren't any more games this week because my voice is just trashed. I got full of congestion, and these two exciting games helped wreck my voice. So I'm glad there aren't any more games this week. I'm glad I get a few days to rest my voice. Well, that's it for Week 3 of the 2026 GNASH postseason. We have 9 teams still playing hockey this season. We're into single digits. It's getting realer by the day that the ending is coming down the pipe. And by this time next week, we'll be down to 5 teams. The Preds Cup championship round will be set. The Hein Cup will still have 3 teams in it, but next Thursday we're going to knock out one more, and then both tournament championship rounds will be set. What a pair of incredible games we had tonight. Just amazing losers bracket quarterfinals. Teams not wanting to go home, but 2 teams did. Our on-air finals tonight, Page 4, Hendersonville beats Lawson 3. And just now in overtime, Montgomery Bell 5, Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian 4. I'm Michael Hackney. What a night at Centennial. One of the greatest nights of playoff action in GNASH history. I'm going to take the rest of the week to rest my voice, and I hope it's better by Monday because we're just getting started on this postseason. Good night, everybody, from Centennial. Have a great weekend. Talk to you Monday night right back here at Centennial on Rink B at 625.